Hi everyone, it's me, Diana, the Doll Fairy. So I'm here to talk to you today about something kind of upsetting. So you probably have heard about some changes that are going to be happening on YouTube at the beginning of 2020. Some big changes are going to come to the way that YouTube does things. YouTube got in trouble with the FTC because of some laws which were made quite a few years ago, but these laws say that YouTube is not allowed to track the behaviors of people who are under the age of 13. And we all know YouTube is tracking everything that we watch because that's how they give us recommendations and personalized ads, and that's just kind of how things work. YouTube kind of figured that it was okay because you have to actually be 13 or over to make a YouTube account. But apparently that wasn't good enough for the FTC. So anyway, they got fined like $170 million, which is not that much to them. It's a lot to me. Anyway, so basically YouTube kind of sort of got in trouble. And it now needs to change the way that it does things in order to comply with these laws going forward. So YouTube's proposed solution to this problem is basically to treat any content that creators deem is meant for kids, or that YouTube deems is meant for kids. Any content that is intended for children 13 and under is going to be distinguished as children's content, and that content will no longer have comments available on it. It will no longer be giving notifications to subscribers, and those videos will no longer be able to show personalized ads to anybody who watches them, not just kids. Because YouTube has no way to determine whether the person watching is a child using their parent's account or whatever. So basically they're just going to say, well, anybody watching a kid's video is going to be assumed that they're a kid, and they can't track their information, and they can't have comments on the video, notifications, and personalized ads. What does this mean for a lot of people? Well, besides the fact that it's lame because now we can't interact if our content is deemed for children, there's no comments. The personalized ads part means that you basically will not be making money if you're making children's content. So that's a big deal for creators who this is their job. When it comes to the Doll Fairy, this is my job actually, but my content isn't intended for children. I am an adult. I'm actually 28 years old. I don't know if you guys know how old I am, because I act like I'm younger probably. But that's because I'm an adult who is really passionate about keeping her inner child alive, and that's what I do. That's my thing. And I think most of the people that I know in our community of doll customizing, that's the kind of person that we are. We're adults. We're not children. And we're not making these videos for children. We're making these videos for people like us, our fellow creators, our fellow artists who like to be creative, or our fellow creative people who enjoy appreciating other people's creativity, even if they don't do it themselves. But doll customizing is not really something that I would expect really little kids to enjoy watching, because honestly it would be kind of boring for little kids, I think. It's not a cartoon, it's not a storyline, we're taking a base, which in this case happens to be a doll. It's a three-dimensional base for our art, and we're making it into another character. And that is an art process. That's not just meant for entertainment, that's something that is meant for art appreciators to watch and see how it comes to life because they like the art. And that's really the main purpose of our doll customizing channels, I think. The other reason why doll customization isn't really meant for children is because this isn't something that small children or anybody really under the age of 13 should be doing, because we do use dangerous materials. We're using toxic aerosols like Mr. Super Clear in order to make the base, the doll base, something that we can draw on with watercolor pencils. We're using 100% pure acetone to remove the factory paint. We're using X-Acto knives to chop up pieces of the dolls and remake them using clays that are, you know, potential skin irritants. We use glosses that are potential carcinogens. I mean, it literally says that in the bottle. Because we're adults, we know how to do those things safely, and we briefly explain precautions that you should take, you know, in our videos, but we're not expecting or intending that children should be watching this and imitating it. It's not really children's content. Because some of the characters that I like to portray with my art are generally considered kids' characters, this may present a problem for my channel. The other problem I might have is the fact that my mascot is the doll fairy, and she's certainly family friendly, and the little magic thing that I do is really meant to be cutesy and I don't know, fun. It's not supposed to be like it's something that's for kids, and I'm not really trying to trick anybody into thinking that the doll fairy is literally using magic to transform these dolls. The meat of the video is me doing the artwork, the process of the artwork, and that is the most important part about my channel, and that is what distinguishes it from any kind of content that's meant for children. I'm not doing kids crafts. I'm not doing kid-friendly crafts. There's nothing that is inappropriate about my videos, but they aren't meant for children. And what I fear is that YouTube, with its all-knowing algorithms, will somehow determine that my content is meant for children because it uses dolls or because it uses kids' characters. Just a little side rant that makes me really sad and upset, because I'm not a kid anymore, but I love the characters that are quote-unquote kids' characters. So what YouTube is basically doing is saying that these characters and dolls in general, these things are just for kids, and as an adult, you can't really enjoy them. You can't have comments on these videos. We can't do doll reviews anymore and get, you know, paid for them, etc. Okay, so that is upsetting to me, but I'm not gonna sit here and blame YouTube. YouTube has to follow the laws. So it's not really their fault. This was the best way that they could come up with to follow the laws. I feel like there must be better ways, and I'm hoping that they can figure that out. For now, as a creator who might have some of my content or all of my content deemed kids content by YouTube algorithms, it is scary and upsetting and just really generally very lame. But now let's move into the positive portion, because I'm not here to rant and be all about negativity. I have some positivity also. My fellow doll customizers and I have been talking about the situation and sort of strategizing, and we came up with a few things that we think can help determine that our content is not intended for children and therefore should not be subject to those restrictive rules. However, those things will require some changes in the way that we do things. Specifically here on the Doll Fairy, I think that for my channel to survive, for me to be able to keep doing the artwork that I love, for it to keep being my job, and for everybody to keep enjoying it at the same level, there may have to be some sacrifices, unfortunately. The way that I do my videos, with the Doll Fairy on screen, narrating things and using her magic wand to transform dolls, that may need to change. I don't know for sure yet, but it looks like that probably will need to change, because I think it may be difficult for people to discern, oh, this looks like it's for kids because there's a doll on the screen talking to the audience and using magic. almost as if it's animated, and that makes it look like it's for kids. So what's really sad about this is, well, it's just sad. But also that, you know, we adults can't enjoy cutesy things like waving a wand and doing magic. So it's unfortunate. However, again, there are positives to it as well. I don't intend for the doll fairy to completely go away. I don't intend to change my name, at least not drastically. I don't intend to completely change my vibe and stop being the doll fairy. That's who I am. You know, it's not just like a persona, like, and I'm not saying I'm really a fairy that uses magic to transform things, but the doll fairy isn't just a character. It's a way of expressing myself. I don't want to completely remove the doll fairy from my videos. But on YouTube, I might need to. I don't know what's going to happen yet. I know, I'm supposed to get to the positive part. Like, why am I not getting to the positive part? The positive part is that change, while upsetting, can be a good thing too. And it can be fun and exciting. Although I didn't want to have to revamp things in a drastic way, changing up the way I do some things could be fun and exciting. You may remember that I made a community post a few weeks ago, I think, where I was asking, you know, is it cool if I do more smart doll, BJD related content, start making a diorama, or, you know, stuff like that. And that's something that I really want to do. And I've been wanting to do for like a year or so, maybe more than that. I think that this actually gives me an opportunity to rearrange my priorities a little bit maybe, and do those, get more into adult collector dolls, things that are clearly meant for adults and not for children. You know, very high-end expensive dolls like smart dolls are things that are clearly not intended for children. If I do more content that focuses more on BJDs and clearly adult collector dolls, that might help, you know, with this whole shift and shifting the perspective that this channel is not meant for children. So that's one thing that I think is a positive. I might be changing the way that I present my videos, and this part I haven't fully figured out yet, but I do really enjoy watching very artsy channels, very like artsy artist vlogs, and you know, videos that have like the artsy aesthetic to them. I went like the cutesy route instead of like the serious artist route, and so I'm thinking that I'm gonna sort of shift and go into the more serious artist kind of vibe. That could be kind of cool and fun and exciting too. And that's something new for me to learn and figure out. And yes, that gives me more work, but that also makes me feel a little bit inspired. So that's a good thing too. Another thing is that I want to make it very clear that my channel and the community of my subscribers, the people who watch my videos, this community is an artist community. And that doesn't mean that, oh, you're not an artist, then you don't belong here. That's definitely not what I mean. I mean that it's a community for people who also enjoy art, whether that is appreciating art, watching other people make art, and, you know, collecting art in whatever form that art might take, including dolls. That's the kind of community that I think I have. You're all people who love art, you love Pokemon, you love interesting, creative, colorful, happy, and innovative things, whatever form that might take. So that's the community that I think that I have, and that's the community that I think maybe I just need to make it clearer to YouTube, to the world, to the powers that be, that's what we have, is we have an art appreciator, artist community, whatever walk of life you might be from. To that end, I desperately hope to continue doing things like design challenges. I really, really love reaching out to this community and asking for your opinions, asking for your ideas, and seeing your creativity. And so that's something that I hope to continue doing, and that hopefully I can actually do more of, because this is a community of artists and art appreciators. And so I think that design challenges where I, say, okay, here's our theme and come up with a design or whatever, that hopefully is something that we can continue doing and maybe even prioritize more on the channel. And in general, although I know you probably love the doll fairy as a doll, you're probably gonna get to see more of me. So hopefully that's a good thing and not a bad thing. But I'm still the doll fairy, That's one thing that I hope will be a positive, that I'm gonna be myself and I'm still gonna be here. I just won't be here as a doll as much, perhaps. That's not to say that the doll fairy as a doll will go away completely. I have a Patreon account, as you may know, and on Patreon, hopefully I can do whatever the heck I want. On Patreon, I intend to continue showing the doll fairy as a doll, and I don't want to erase my doll fairy branding. I just may need to change things quite a bit on my YouTube channel, and I may need to change my logo. I may need to change things like that, but that doesn't mean that it's going to go away. As you also may know, I have a website, thedollfairy.com, and on that website I have a bunch of merchandise featuring my logo, featuring my little chibi art of the doll fairy, and you can still purchase that, and none of that is going to go away. I don't intend for any of that to go away. I worked really hard on it, so I don't intend for any of that to go away. The doll fairy is not going to disappear entirely. You just may not see her as much on YouTube, and that the videos themselves, the way that they're presented on YouTube, may change. However, I don't know about how it will work if I do make dolls based on kids' characters. So if I want to do more Pokemon inspired repaints, which I probably will, then I may need to put that on Patreon. And I know that kind of sucks. I know you don't want to have to pay to watch my videos when you can watch them for free right now. But the thing is, this is my job. I really, really love doing this. I love art. And I can't even tell you how sincerely I feel that I don't want to stop doing art. I think I'll be miserable if I do that. What I'm trying to say is that I'm really in love with being an artist, and I don't want to give that up. And that means I have to make money at it. I really wish I didn't have to. I really wish I could just do it and just give art as presents to people, or just keep making videos just to make people happy or whatever. But I am an adult, and I do understand to some degree how the world works, and I do know that I need to make money in order to survive, which it's just that it is what it is. So if I can't grow my channel and continue to make money that way, which it's not a lot of money anyway on YouTube. I'm working my way up here, but it's tough. And so that's why it really helps when people pledge to support me on Patreon. It makes a really big difference to me. So that's why it may be the wisest thing for me if I want to continue making Pokemon related videos or Disney related videos, I might have to make that Patreon exclusive. So if you really love that content, then that's possibly the option. But I'm not going to stop making content, and we'll see how it goes. I might be able to continue doing that because it isn't necessarily meant for children. So we'll see how it goes. I just want you to know that this is kind of what I'm thinking about. And if I do make some of that content Patreon exclusive, I might be working on redesigning my tiers a little bit so that is more viable for more people. I do have something positive for you now. Because these changes are happening in January of 2020, and I have 4 Pokemon Zodiac entries to complete before the Zodiac is completed. I have decided that because I have 4 more Zodiacs and 4 more months, well, actually now it's like 3.5, I am going to do my absolute best to complete the Pokemon Zodiac by the end of 2019. So I'm going to be working really, really hard on making that a reality so that I can complete that, and that'll be something that hopefully will not have to go away. It'll be there and you can watch it and enjoy it. And I won't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I might never be able to finish this thing or whatever. I'm going to finish the Pokemon Zodiac. Even if I don't finish it by 2019, if I have to go into 2020 with it, I will. But that's my goal. I'm going to try to finish that before these changes happen on YouTube. So regardless of what I might have to do with making things Patreon exclusive, my intention is to complete the Pokemon Zodiac and have that up on YouTube by the end of this year. That includes Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. So don't worry about that. I'm going to make that happen. So that's basically it. I know I didn't give a whole lot of specifics, but those are the main things to take away from this video. I'm going to work very hard to try to finish the Pokemon Zodiac before the YouTube apocalypse in January of 2020. I am probably going to be changing up my branding and presentation on my videos to make it clear that they are not intended for children. I will continue to do the content that I love in terms of the cutesy doll fairy and making dolls based on Pokemon and Disney characters and etc. I will continue to do that most likely regardless. It may be on other platforms besides YouTube. It may be something that's Patreon exclusive. Number 4, I will absolutely continue making videos and making videos about dolls on this channel. I may be shifting my focus a bit onto dolls such as smart dolls and other BJDs, and that is actually because I want to, but also because it coincides with all this stuff that's going on. And number 5, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching my videos and for supporting me. And to answer the question, is this the end of the doll fairy? No, it's not. It's not the end of the doll fairy, and it's all gonna be okay. Even if things have to change, they're still gonna be a lot of fun and might even be more fun in some ways. I'm a little bit afraid, but I'm also really excited too. And I hope that you feel the same way. I hope that you'll stick with me, and let's finish the Pokemon Zodiac. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please leave any questions that you have in the comments below, and I'll do my best to try to answer them. Okay? I will see you all very soon. Bye!